I'm Stephen Cherniske, a research biochemist. I'm here with Natalie Kather, my doctor wife, and we present this Zinzino Science Insights every week in order to help everyone to kind of grok the incredible opportunity that we have to educate and inspire other people. It's not just about building a business. It's about helping people to understand how the human body works. Doesn't mean we all have to become biochemists or doctors, but there are ways that which you can talk to people that help them understand why what you're presenting as an opportunity really matters. What's the bottom line take-home message that will make them not only a customer or a partner, but someone who is then going to be able to talk to other people about the incredible opportunity that we have. And why is that? Because Zinzino is a science company, and a real science company with real scientists working in real labs, publishing real scientific papers. And that stands apart from the rest of the industry, which is where you have lots of people saying lots of things, and some of it's real and a whole lot of it ain't real at all. Today, we're going to talk about GLP-1. Why? Number one, because it's everywhere in the news, right? Whether people are taking it as an injection and a GLP-1 agonist drug, or whether they're taking it as a pill like Wegovy or Ozempic, however people are taking it and using it, everyone is talking about it, and not just the people who are overweight. Everyone's talking about GLP-1, and we're going to tell you exactly why.
All right. Nutrition as biological signaling. So we've talked about communication before, and this is another form of communication. We've talked about G proteins and how a cell picks up the phone and calls another cell all the way across the other side of the body, and they have this communication system. Well, there are other communication systems going on, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the communication system that happens within the gut and the host, us. So our food doesn't just provide nutrients, it sends instructions. And so today we're going to think about the balance oil, xenobiotic, Viva, of course, the polyphenols and balance oil. Yes. And we're going to talk about Viva some other time. But there's a reason why we keep focusing on all the benefits that come from what makes up the health protocol and health protocol premium, which are these products, the balance products, the xenobiotic, and of course the Extend and Viva. So.
And EVOO, we're going to talk a lot about all of polyphenols a little bit later today. But the idea that the gut is an endocrine organ, and that the gut-brain connection is incredibly important, and it's all over the medical literature. So again, what are we learning? A study in 2026 basically showed that researchers found increased butyrate along with increases in GLP-1 and gut hormone pancreatic peptide PYY. So all these acronyms, GLP-1, PYY, let's just understand that these are signaling molecules produced in the body. They're not just produced when you take a pill or an injection. These are produced by the body, and butyrate, which is the byproduct of the metabolism of various fibers that you get from things like xenobiotic.
Or prebiotic.
Yes.
And then the probiotic, Bifidobacterium breve, munches on those and creates butyrate, which is the postbiotic.
Right. Yeah. And the butyrate connection here is important because why? GLP-1, is produced, PYY is produced, and what do those signaling molecules do? Let's take a look.
These are gut hormones that have important messages. And the glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1, is known as an incretin, which means that it's a hormone made by the gut.
Okay.
Right? So it stimulates the pancreas to make more insulin, and it also helps delay gastric emptying, which is one of the ways that it also tells the body you don't have to keep eating, stop eating. It helps protect the heart and the nervous system.
Look at that. GLP-1 has cardio and neuroprotective effects. again, brand new information, very important for anyone looking for what is the benefit of consuming all these different fibers.
So it helps manage inflammation better, apoptosis, which is the process of getting rid of cells that are malfunctioning.
Yeah.
And I love the idea about how it can improve learning and memory, plays a role in reward behavior and palatability. Palatability, love that word. It just means it makes life more fun, makes eating more fun. There's more. Great. The PYY, or pancreatic peptide Y, is released into the blood from the intestine and colon. So as we're eating, that signaling, the intestine's like, oh, put this into the blood. Tell this message, which of course is we don't need to keep eating. We should stop eating. Yep. The hypothalamus, which is a key brain area in regulating the appetite, has access to nutrients and hormones because of that peripheral circulation. So it's a gut-brain connection that doesn't automatically include the vagal nerve. Yeah. Increasingly, we're realizing gut microbes and the intestinal cells. All right, we're realizing that gut microbes and the intestinal cells, they talk to each other. So here is a cute little cartoon that Meta helped me create. And there's Bifidobacterium breve saying, tell the body we have enough food now to build a better body.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And there's the cell of the intestine that's pouring these signals, these hormones into the bloodstream to tell the brain, the pancreas, all parts of the body, this is what's going on. All right, so dietary fiber leads to microbial fermentation, short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. We get that endocrine signaling, and this includes GLP-1 and PPY. So there's a lot of important benefits for why we need to support our own body's ability to make these hormones.
I love it.
And not just say, well, I'll just, take this shortcut and use some new to nature molecule.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, as we have this discussion of how valuable these fibers are, because they are not just fiber, all right? These are signaling molecules that then have a whole cascade of benefits throughout the body, and we just learned the brain as well. So that being the case, what about the standard Western diet? Are people getting enough fiber? When we know that no, people are not getting enough fiber. And specifically, if you look at the diet that the human being was basically designed with, all right, because our evolutionary history was this incredible interaction between environment and everything else, diet, that there was a incredible variety of fibers in the hunting and gathering diet. That is how the human organism, right, you and me, that's why we're here right now, is because we were able to work with an environment successfully, and that environment produced a diet that was incredibly rich in a variety of different fibers. In the hunting and gathering diet that I studied, there were 75 species of plants consumed daily by the tribe that I was working with. The average American consumes 11 species of fiber in a week. And those fibers are pretty much along the line of potatoes, and banana is the most commonly consumed fruit. So the opportunity that we have here is to do what? To compensate for the limited number of fibers that humans are consuming, to compensate with something which is simple to consume.
But that's not going to be all the fiber we need, because
gosh, no.
2 scoops provides 10 grams of fiber. Yes. But we want to get to 30 grams a day. That's the health goal. Yes. The GLP-1 isn't simply something we inject. Nope. We make it ourselves. And we want to know how our bodies are doing. So we test. We have the gut health test. We don't guess. It's a finger stick, whole blood, dried blood spot test. And we have our xenobiotic. All right. So what about the combination of fiber plus polyphenols?
That's wonderful, because we love talking about polyphenols.
Okay, so we think about the polyphenols that are in the balance oil products, the olive polyphenols, but we also get them in our diet. We have blueberries and cherries and
Cranberry,
berry.
Rhodium berry.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So the 2025 clinical trial with the U.S. Army Research Institute of Environmental Medicine. Interesting. They exposed healthy people to simulated high altitude. So they didn't fly them up to Denver or some really, really high place, but instead they administered normal air pressure but lower oxygen.
Right.
So usually oxygen is 21% in our air, so we don't know how low they went, but yeah, it was no longer sea level.
So why is this relevant? Why would Stephen and Natalie talk about a study done by the U.S. Army exposing soldiers to a low oxygen environment? Why is this relevant? Because as we age, we become the amount of oxygen getting to your cells declines. Why is that? Two reasons. Number one, the efficiency of your cardiopulmonary system. That is the ability of your heart to pump blood through your lungs, the ability of your lungs to extract that oxygen from the inhaled air. And then number two, to deliver it through what? Your circulation. As we age, both of those, cardiopulmonary and your circulation, decline, which produces a relative hypoxia compared to where you were when you were in your 20s. So this research really is relevant. Let's see what happens.
Everyone.
Let's see what happens when they gave these people polyphenols. These subjects received a combination.
Combination, yes.
Of?
Fermentable fibers plus polyphenol-rich foods.
Where have I seen that combination before? Xeno.
Yes, and so when we think about the polyphenols, we go back to the health protocol premium. Yeah, health protocol and health premium. Okay, so the oxygen deprivation reduces the intestinal barrier integrity.
Ooh.
Yeah, but consuming fermentable fibers and polyphenols increases bifidobacterium quantity and quality. Bifidobacterium are heroes in this story. Yes. Tell the intestinal cells what they need to improve the gut barrier despite the low oxygen stress. So I have here the mountain hiker's must, summit buddies, but
Cute.
It's also the better aging buddy.
Yeah.
So here's our hiker. He's definitely at high altitude, 2,840 meters. He's got his xenobiotic. He's got his 70% dark chocolate. He's got his blueberries. Got some almonds there for some protein snack. And here's Bifidobacterium breve.
Beautiful. Love it.
All right. Xenobiotic plus polyphenol containing foods products are act as complementary rather than separate nutritional categories. Yeah, they go together. All right. Omega-3. We love to talk about omega-3 fatty acids like EPA and DHA, but mix it with exercise and even better things happen.
Wow.
So a 2025 clinical trial gave physically active men about 3 grams a day of this combination of omega-3s. And so they weren't...
Yeah, 3 grams a day. If you're like most people, you should be getting close to that. I'm getting a little bit more than that because I'm taking the balance oil in about I'm almost at 20 mLs. On it, and so I'm getting a little bit over 3 grams a day. But if you look at your bottle of lemon oil, you're getting about 2.5 grams a day for the 12.5 ml dose.
Okay.
Just so
for the EPA plus DHA. Yep. And this is a choice that we've made to take a little bit more than what is recommended for our weight.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we have oxidation issues. I Zumba and
my age.
Boom. Yeah. So compared with resistance training alone, the omega-3 group showed changes in multiple systems. So they did blood work on them.
Wonderful.
Their cholesterol levels or lipids, they improved, better control over inflammation and management of inflammation, antioxidant measures. Neurobiological markers. I'm thinking that also relates back to the inflammation
For
markers.
sure.
Yeah. And then, of course, brain-derived neurotrophic factor.
Ding, 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 ding.
We love a better brain. Dopamine and serotonin, which are important for mood, as well as motivation, along with greater improvements in several physical performance measures. So we think about this combination, the olive polyphenols attached to the omega-3 fatty acids in the balance oil, which makes them even more effective. So we see this study that showed benefits with the omega-3s alone, and we're already hearing about the benefits of having polyphenols, what they do on their own. Yeah. Now the fact that the polyphenols are attached to the omega-3s.
Yes.
Yep.
But hold that screen there, because I want to talk a little bit about the olive issue here. Because when we talk about balance oil, and we talk about how it provides olive oil plus the omega-3 fats, and as Natalie just mentioned, how it's not just a combination, but the polyphenols are bound to the omega-3s, which is really an important point that I want you guys to make. At the same time, I don't think I'm adding too much complexity here, but it's not just olive oil, because when you press olives, you get a lot of polyphenols. But the water that's used in the process, right, and the material that's left over, called pomace, P-O-M-A-C-E. There's polyphenols in the water. There's polyphenols in the solid material too. Well, guess what Zinzino does? They look at those things and they go, hey, there's stuff that we could be missing here. So they get more polyphenols from the water, and they get more and different polyphenols from the pumice. And all of that is what you get when you consume these products. So it's really important that we understand the brilliance here. And the brilliance goes even further, because Zinzino owns the plantation that's growing the olives. Wow.
Vertical integration.
Yeah.
Exercise sends a signal. Omega-3 alters membrane composition and lipid signaling. Yes. And because we're supplementing, it's for the better.
Yeah.
Sleep regulates recovery. Yes, we can't forget that. Polyphenols influence signaling, the emerging nutritional model. Hey, what is this going to cure? Instead, what is it supporting? Helps cells respond appropriately to life signals. So these cells do a better job at hearing those messages, like from GLP-1 and from PYY. Yeah, which goes back to the every cell approach.
Yes. Polyphenol packages. And I'm bringing this up because being in this industry for so long, and we're talking about my first course in dietetics was in 1968. So I've been doing this a long time. And in that experience, antioxidant literature has gone through so many different stages and phases. And along the way, people have been making claims. And there was a long period of time, there was a couple of decades in there, where everything was like superfoods. And people were taking, just fruit juice and putting it in a wine bottle and making it into this super, fad product.
More marketing than
more
substance.
Marketing than science. So I really want to spend some time here because we've all been exposed to superfood marketing. So let's talk about what makes Zinzino different. And again, the goal is not to have the most antioxidants. The goal is better biological signaling. So the old question is, which food has the highest antioxidant number? That's the debate that
right,
people
the ORAC score.
The ORAC score.
It's so good. What's its ORAC score?
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. The new question is, which molecules, which pathways provide the best bioavailability, and is there human evidence? The polyphenols are less like chemical sponges, more like signals transformed first by the gut microbiome. So
again, Bifidobacterium breve is the hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at what I call a practical ranking, because we don't want to discount the non-olive polyphenols, but I want you to understand that olive polyphenols are probably the strongest. So they go at the highest ranking. Why? Because they have the strongest package of molecules.
And when we've talked about their metabolic impact before, it's a multi-systems effect. It's not just the gut. It's not just the immune system. It's not just your brain. It's not just how well you control your blood sugar.
Beautiful.
It's not just your muscle health. Yeah.
So the strongest overall effect, at the same time, the strongest scientific support. Then, right below olive polyphenols, I would put deeply colored berries and cherries. Again, anthocyanin rich, because anthocyanins are what you're going to get from deeply colored berries and cherries that you will not get from olives. So it's complementary to the olive polyphenols. And then number 3, I would say acai and goji, which are still legitimate foods, very often oversold, but very legitimate in terms of the nutrient package. And then lastly, I would put wheatgrass and other generic superfood powders. And there are nutrients, but the claims are often weak. Bottom line, don't chase the crown, right? Build the diversity with your diet and your Zinzino polyphenols.
And as we were picking blueberries the other day, we gave a shout out in the universe to James Joseph,
yes,
who discovered that rats have better memories when you feed them blueberries. Same happens for humans. Yeah.
So why are olives ranked so high? Hydroxytyrosol, we've talked about that specific molecule, oleoropin, also, again, a specific we've talked about before, oleasin and oleocanthal. And then again, human evidence on the circulation, oxidative stress, and cardiometabolic markers, all with solid science that you can count on when you're talking about olive polyphenols.
Just a reminder that these polyphenols have such beneficial holistic effects, head to toe.
And once again, as I mentioned, Zinzino doesn't just press the olives and say, here's your olive oil. Number one, the olive oil is standardized itself. And then in addition to that, much of the different polyphenols are also obtained from the water in the processing, as well as the pumice that's left over from the press. We're looking for different polyphenols. We want to make sure that people understand that these deep red and purple pigmented foods, I'm not just talking about fruits, by the way. What about purple cabbage? That purple color represents another class of polyphenols. Right?
Purple cauliflower?
Purple cauliflower, yes. Purples and green and dark blues and deep reds. Your carrots and other carotenoids also available from a widely varied natural foods diet. So it's not that they're better than olives, they're just different.
How about blue corn?
Blue corn, yes, but not easy to find these days. We'll tell you that story at another time.
Well, I eat blue corn chips.
It's true. You do. So that's a good question. Are blue corn chips better than yellow corn chips? The answer is yes, moderately better, but there is an advantage. Yeah, good for you.
I'll take it.
All right, wrapping up here. Superfoods are useful, but the inflated stories of acai and goji and wheatgrass, again, nutritious plant food does not equal proven miracle products. Yesterday's paradigm, all right, was antioxidant enter the blood and mop up free radicals. Yeah, we know that, it's true, but today's story is a richer paradigm that polyphenols work through what? The microbial metabolites in your gut. So it's this plus this, right, equals a lot more than just taking a superfood. And by the way, this one, what's this? Oh, talk about this briefly.
Phycocyanins.
Phycocyanins from spirulina.
Which is an algae product.
Again, Zinzino, again, is the leader in this newly emerging awareness that we have of all these different molecules that we get from a highly varied natural foods diet, supplemented with targeted nutrients that have been standardized to deliver the goods that you need for optimum health. All right? I think that's a good way to end and to see if we have time for some questions.
I like this. The goal is not find the most powerful antioxidant. We want a rich biochemical environment where our cells receive better signals.
Yeah.
Your cells are listening.
Well, again, it's all about the science. If you look at the goal here, the goal is to obtain these nutrients, these signaling molecules from as many different foods as you can. Natalie and I are so fortunate. Number one, we live in a town where there's a vibrant farmers market. The farmers market in Olympia is just one of the best in terms of the number of vendors that show up
and the diversity they
and
bring.
the diversity that they bring. In addition, Natalie and I are blessed to have neighbors with gardens and bountiful gardens. So we are doubly blessed. And so our diet is probably, in terms of diversity, it's probably the most diverse diet that I've had, because it's just been so easy. The joke here is that during the summer months, be sure to lock your car. And not just because someone's going to come along to steal it, but because people are going to be putting their excess zucchinis, summer squashes, pumpkins, chard, kale, and they're going to put it in your car. So again, the bottom line here is two things. How Zinzino products fit into that story of diversity and a highly varied natural food diet. What did they bring, and what do all those wonderful molecules do for your health and wellness?
Brenna points out a difference between naturally produced signaling molecules from food and gut microbes than ones injected and absorbed by other means. Am I right about this? So should we go to question number 1?
Yeah, which is butyrate, and I think that's one of the things that we kind of skipped over maybe a little bit too fast, which is better, because butyrate supplements do exist on the marketplace. And so, Frenna, thank you for asking, because we've been asked by other people, hey, why don't I just take a butyrate supplement? And so the question is, hey, is there good evidence to show that making butyrate through the fermentation of natural fibers is making your own butyrate better than taking a butyrate tablet? Yes, the answer is, without a doubt, it's better to make your butyrate rather than take a supplement. Yeah. And here there's a strong biological argument making short-chain fatty acids in the colon is preferable to simply swallowing a butyrate tablet. Yeah. The reason is that fermentable fiber does much more than deliver one molecule. When your microbiome ferments fiber, they create a mixture of short-chain fatty acids, not just butyrate, but acetate, propionate, in places where they normally act. So again, and let's really put a fine point on this. When you make your own butyrate and propionate, those molecules are produced in the right place with the right companions. They condition the microbiome, which means you're going to improve the barrier mechanism of the gut. And then you'll continuous local production. This is not just something that happens when you take a pill and then it happens for an hour. You're constantly providing these incredibly important molecules in the gut, and those short-chain fatty acids interact with receptors throughout the to improve intestinal barrier function. And so, that's it. Thank you for asking that, because it's a critical point I wanted to make, and so here it is. Great.
Taking butyrate is like buying electricity. Feeding your microbiome is like building the power plant.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Take good care of yourselves. Take good care of
yourselves.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate all you do.
Hey, Pecanzi.
Hey, love you, sir. Good to see you guys. You guys look great.
Yeah. You're looking very young, Stephen. Must be this energy.
Yeah.